Okay.
Right, and we're live.
We're live, McPhee. We're
Yep.
live.
We're live, brother. We're live.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first week of Barbed. Yeah. If you didn't see my post earlier in the week, me and my good friend Jonathan here and our good friend McPhee, who's sitting behind the desk there, who's looking after the technical things of the podcast. We're starting our own sort of web show type thing every Thursday. It's going to be under a new brand called BARBED. First off, I'm going to go through a bit what BARBED is, because obviously no one knows yet. Sorry, I just had crisps. Well, first off, this is Jonathan. Let's get the introductions out the way. This is Jonathan.
What's happening?
He's been my friend for
Too fucking long, mate.
too long. If you've been to any of my shows,
I've probably been there.
you've
completely
probably
hammered.
You probably saw Dougan running about the place. And then we've got our good friend McPhee. We're behind the desk,
Yes, bro. That's me.
who's the technical guru of the show.
Just sitting here.
He's probably more or less in the same boat as me. Like,
Yeah, if you've been to one of my shows, you'll have saw these two. Well, you can't see McPhee, but
he's hiding over
you'll
there
have seen.
behind them.
He's been there, like. So yeah, Barbed's the new brand. It's what this podcast is going to be called. It's also going to be a record label, which I'm going to get into in a lot more depth in the coming weeks. It's also going to be a clothing line. Got lots of cool stuff coming up. Lots of exciting things and a few other sort of projects. But I just thought it'd be good to have it all under one sort of brand to make things a lot easier. But yeah, we'll be doing the show every Thursday, 8 p.m. It comes out, I'm pretty sure. At this moment in time, it is pre-recorded. So if you're listening to this, we recorded this last Thursday.
Yep.
Maybe we'll do a few live segments once we get things up and running. But yeah, so that's basically it. The introduction's done, the housekeeping done. What we're going to talk about today is
A bit of everything, really.
a bit of everything. We'll talk.
maybe-
We don't want to be rambling on about coronavirus every single week, but like, there's definitely a good few talking points in there, and there's definitely stuff that we need to talk about. And then at the end, we're gonna do a wee Q&A. I put it on my Instagram last night if anyone wanted to ask any questions, and seeing where I do that, literally, like, if I put a question thing on my Instagram, a good 95% of people that respond are just taking the complete piss.
Yeah, well, I've got them all on my phone here. Had a quick look through. There's like 6 or 7 different screenshots, and I'd say about 80% of them are people talking absolute shite. And there's maybe...
That's what you want.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want. But there's about 10 or 15 serious questions in there, which you might actually want to get to. But as well, we'll address the bollocks as well. Just get down to the
Coronavirus?
yeah, more or less.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen the news this week, one of Boris Johnson's junior ministers... Hold on a second before we start this. I open my drink.
Have we got the video here? Or what's the crack with that? Go ahead.
No, my laptop's over there. If you haven't seen the video, can we get it up?
Is that possible?
I'll get McPhee to play it on the screen now, and then we'll let you watch it, and then we'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
The Chancellor's winter economy plan says only staff able to work at least a third of their normal hours will receive wage top-ups. What does that mean then, given from what you're saying? What does that mean for a bouncer from a nightclub or a performer in the West End? They're not earning any money, so they're not going to get any money at all from the government, are they?
It's a really important point you make about some of these really hard decisions, the decisions that the government and the Chancellor is not ducking, that we have to look at what's going on with the economy and support jobs, and particularly support jobs where we know that there is an opportunity ongoing.
So is there not an opportunity ongoing then for the nightlife industry?
Well, let me just set out is where we've had the furlough scheme over the last few months, and particularly during that intense lockdown where we said to people, unless you're a key worker, you pretty much shouldn't be going to work. Now we're saying to people, yes, do go to work. If you can work from home, but if you can't, yes, absolutely, you should be going to work. But because of the restrictions, we do know that there isn't the level of work out there that there was before. And so the Chancellor has has adjusted and moved to the next phase where we know that COVID is going to be with us for some months ahead, doesn't make sense to continue supporting jobs where there simply isn't work at the moment. We've got to support people where they can be working.
So you're not going to support the nightlife industry? It's done.
Well,
finished.
Okay, as you just saw there, one of Boris Johnson's junior ministers has been questioned as to why the new support system, which has changed from furlough to the new system where you have to be working to be getting any sort of support from the government, and even then it's only 1/3 of your wage support is come from the government, which doesn't help industries that are currently not even able to open due to the government's restrictions, which is obviously nightclubs. Basically her response to that is that jobs in the nightlife industry aren't viable jobs, basically saying that coronavirus has resulted in
a rapid decline in people within that industry, what work they can do.
Basically, what the Conservative government is saying is that nightclubs and the jobs associated with it will not exist after coronavirus ends in 1 year, a year and a half, which has obviously caused an absolute uproar in the nightlife community. Loads of people, I should talk about me. I'm one of those people. Like,
yeah, and like among so many other jobs, like bar staff, even like waiting staff.
Yeah, there's a
like
whole
that.
supply chain of people that get affected by this.
Like people who work in theaters, comedians. There's so many different like groups who are directly involved, and it's just they're basically chucking them under the bus and saying, like, well, what you're doing now, it's not a viable job. So,
but like,
sorry,
from my perspective, like, surely it is a viable job. Surely once coronavirus ends, maybe they know something we don't, where they know that this is going to get a lot worse.
Yeah, it could well be the case, but
they know that there's something bad's happening or something's brewing up where nightclubs aren't going to be able to exist in the future.
But then again, it's going back to that. It's revenue, bringing in clubs, bars, restaurants, comedian, like
the nightlife industry was either the third, it was sixth, either the third or sixth. Can't remember which one. Most, like contribution.
Easy for you to say, mate.
Contribution
mate.
Towards the UK economy. I think it was sixth, and it was like billions and billions and billions of pounds. I actually saw Matt Hancock, who's leading the whole sort of coronavirus strategy, tweeted 2 or 3 years ago this tweet saying how thankful for the nightlife industry is and how much money it's brought in to the economy and all this stuff, and then literally
sort of just going back on his word, really.
Yeah, well, as politicians always do.
Yeah,
like, but yeah. So well, how long do you think clubs? When do you think clubs are going to open?
Realistically, like, I personally think, well, obviously this year's been a write-off, and
whenever coronavirus first started,
we were thinking of 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's
tops.
what I'm saying. Whenever coronavirus first came out and shows got cancelled,
like we did our first live stream, we were thinking, this will all blow over. We'll be back. Maybe months time. We'll be back. We'll get something sorted.
Yeah.
And realistically, it's just been a rapid decline from then onwards. Personally, I think in terms of like nightlife and stuff, for the foreseeable, personally, in my opinion, I think next year I'd probably write it off as well.
The whole year?
I would say so. Bold statement, like, but the way things are going at the moment, like, it just seems to be everything's completely over the top. Like,
everyone expected it. Everyone expected this to be over months and months ago. There were shows that got cancelled that I was supposed to be playing that then got rescheduled. And then then been cancelled again, and like it's been like, okay, well, there's no point even trying to reschedule a date now.
As well, like, I remember like a couple of months ago, speaking, was like, well, have you got any like gigs lined up and whatnot? And you were like, oh, well, there's been a couple of promoters over in England who've booked me for, I don't even know when it was. It was like December, early next year.
October.
And it was like, I was sort of at that point was semi hopeful it was going to go ahead, and now you're just like, what was I even thinking?
But like there is still, I see DJs on my timeline that are playing.
Yeah, over in like mainland Europe and stuff like that.
Even in England. So Scream and a few others have all been playing. Like
these social distance raves and stuff. And well, like, to be fair, one of my mates said he was down at Kelly's the other week. They were like social distance rave at Kelly's. This was like 3 weeks ago.
Well, like that's what the thing is. The the regulations that came out last week,
It just sort of blocks everything
or
from doing that.
it's basically saying you can't have music over a certain level of decibels, which isn't enough music for a DJ to play.
Yeah.
Close at 10,
Yeah. Well, it's
which is another
Kinda
regulation.
pointless.
All bars now close at 10 p.m.
yeah. Well, it's like they've even put in rules in place to say like if you're in a bar or you're not allowed to have your TV above a certain level. It's
Yeah.
like, what's that all about? What is it? Having your TV volume
But-
up a little bit more going to spread coronavirus quicker?
Playing devil's advocate here. Like, the louder the music is in a venue or in a bar, the closer you have to get to someone to speak.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm assuming, the reason why nightclubs can't open. If you think back to when nightclubs existed, see to talk to someone in a nightclub,
Yeah.
you had to fucking spit in
Yeah.
their fucking ear
Valid point. Like,
just to get your point across. So I can see why the government's so reluctant to even try and bother to open them, but they should definitely be given a chance to at least
give it a go. Like,
yeah.
but to be fair,
One of the main points that nightclubs were saying was they've got so many bouncers and security systems in place already before coronavirus
yeah.
that it's easy for them to monitor and to keep everything secure and make sure people are social distancing and stuff like that, which is a fair point
And
too.
I know I see like now there is like quite a conscious effort in nightclubs to make sure that everyone is being like socially distanced and stuff. Like there's no groups of 3. Like my friend was out the weekend there. He went to Cargo in Belfast, and there was 30 of them, but they had 5 different tables of 6. And anytime they went to talk to a different table, someone was straight on them, be like, "No, mate, you
Serious?
can't sit back down." They were completely.
I haven't
They
even
were hot about it.
Well, I can't remember the last time we even went to a bar.
And I've been in a bar twice, and I haven't
Since
been
the past 9
since-
months?
Yeah, since they opened up again, like.
I've been
Um,
enjoying. We've been going to each other's houses every weekend instead, and just
but then again, that's completely against the guidelines. But the reason why we're doing that is because the guidelines are forcing us to do that.
it's only being against the guidelines the past
Yeah, in the
week.
past couple of weeks, to be fair.
But you're right. So the curfew's 10 p.m. for bars. So at 10 p.m. comes, you have thousands and thousands
Spilling out onto the streets,
of
and you're
18 to 30-year-olds mainly.
and what are you gonna go? Right, it goes. Oh, it's 10 o'clock now. I suppose we're not legally allowed to go back to
Who,
a mate's house.
who the fuck?
Who in the right mind's
who
actually
the
gonna go
fuck
home?
do you know goes home at 10 p.m.?
Night's only getting started. Like
Exactly. 10 p.m. hits. They are hitting those parties.
prime time.
Which actually brings me another point.
Can I just say the curfew for Northern Ireland
Is 11 o'clock.
It's actually
Oh.
11 o'clock.
All right, Boris.
That's why he's on the salary.
Yeah.
That is why he's
Yeah,
on
that's
the
why
salary.
he's here,
That's-
keeping us in check. Well, to be fair, we're doing a bit of a Boris Johnson here, like, because he had a bit of a shit show last week. Didn't even know his own regulations.
The
he
amount of
put in
times
place.
that they've changed it and added stuff, even the Prime Minister who's supposed to be implementing it doesn't even know what the rules are.
I was reading an article yesterday, the day before, and they were saying that regulations could change on a 24-hourly basis. So how is anyone going to have a clue
nobody.
what the crack is if
Fucking
it's
nobody.
constantly changing? Like if Boris Johnson can't even keep up to dates with things that are changing on a weekly basis, how is he going to keep up with things on a 24-hourly basis?
Yeah.
And how if they can't even keep up, how can they even expect us to try and keep up?
Yeah. Well, we've rewind a bit. That point about
Bringing it back here, are we?
that point about coming out the pubs at 10 p.m. the students and stuff and going to house parties. There's been a massive fucking hoo-ha over the students in the Holy Lands.
Stevie Nolan getting involved.
For anyone not from Belfast watching, the Holy Lands is like the student area where it's just notorious for parties.
It's mayhem all the time.
During Freshers Week or during St. Patrick's Day, like the streets are filled with thousands of people. So I think it was Freshers Week last week.
Yeah, I think it was
Either
last week or the week before.
Freshers Week, or they're just moving in, and basically thousands and thousands of students just got on the street, no masks, no socially distancing, throwing all these mad parties, like 50 people, and like I'm looking. There's a well-known journalist called Stephen Nolan that was giving them a lot of grief, and they were complaining, saying they're getting picked on and that it's not students' fault. But like I saw videos of it, and like it wasn't.
Is
like-
that just us being like?
No. Let me
Old
finish my
or-
point. Let me finish my point. Let me finish it, right. The videos that I saw was not on. Like
Yeah,
there was about 400 people in the street, and we're in a flipping pandemic. no mask, no social distance, right? But also on the flip side, if I was a student, on the flip side, I'm happy to see
You'd
it.
be straight there, mate.
I am happy to see it. They
18.
deserve it. This is the best years of their life.
Yeah.
Let them. I don't care. Like,
Yeah, you'd be straight on it.
I understand why Stephen Nolan's giving them grief.
Yeah,
But at the same time, fair fucking play to you. I'd do the exact same thing.
100%.
I would do the exact same
100%.
thing.
Yeah, 18, free one, first year uni.
Of course,
Let's have it.
Yeah. Obviously, don't be complete ridiculous. Like,
Well, they quite clearly fucking were.
yeah. And just today, Northumbria University, Newcastle, just announced 900 positive coronavirus tests.
Those numbers correct, are they?
McPhee,
McPhee, you want to check that one up there?
I believe it's 900.
I've got
I'll get it up
700
here.
in my head here. Like,
Do
so
you?
it could be.
It could
far
be
and few
700.
between,
Like, it could be 700.
maybe
anyway, the
somewhere
point-
in between. Anyway,
What
like,
my point is students are obviously spreading it. If those students keep it within themselves and in their communities and in their student sort of villages and their student apartments, then
yeah, and,
does it matter? Students are like,
well, I don't know if that's
what's the fatality rate of students? 0%.
like 0.04%, something like ridiculously low.
So what?
Sorry, do you want to know? what-
Yeah, go on then.
It's McPhee.
It was 700.
Fuck.
Bam, bam, bam.
New cases.
All right, apologies.
Sparky with the
So
numbers.
it was 700, not 900.
I actually had I was speaking to one of my mates last week, and he's only recently moved over to Liverpool for university. It's his first year student. Will McCrum, shout out. He was saying that his university has basically said if you come out to go to university, you're not allowed to go home for Christmas,
Yeah, I saw that.
which is absolutely fucking mental when you think about it. It's
Like, surely they can't do that.
like
You can't spend Christmas
I don't know.
fucking day
yeah, mate,
in your stinky
fucked out
student
uni
flat.
halls.
No way.
I don't know, like that is absolute mayhem.
But then at the
when you
same
think
time,
about
like
it.
obviously, like so imagine those 700 positive,
Yeah, 100%.
700 positive cases all went home this weekend.
Yeah,
Like
that's
the amount
100%.
of spread that's going to do is just
But like,
crazy.
is there any way around that though? Like,
No.
is there any way to actually
Students
stop that?
students aren't going to stop partying and
With just
crack,
'cause
and they're
of
also
just because we like a Rona.
yeah, and they're also not going to not go home for Christmas.
If someone told me that I wasn't allowed to fly home to see my family for Christmas, I would tell them to absolutely
Yeah.
do one. Realistically,
100%. I don't think there's no way they can legally do that. I think it's
surely
like a-
that's a massive
Sure,
breach
it's like
of human
it's like
rights.
a recommendation. I'm pretty sure. Well,
But
they
like-
recommend not to do
But
it.
it's the same as like those ones in university in the catering halls. They've been basically locked down.
Oh,
They're not
where
allowed-
is this? Belfast?
No, Newcastle.
Oh, right.
It might be in Belfast as well.
Elms,
but
I'm pretty sure was locked down.
yeah, one of the Belfast campuses
they've been
was.
putting
Yeah.
funny stuff in the windows and shit. I saw.
Yes, and like someone reported them to the police and said you
Really?
have to take the signs down, and they were like,
Rise up.
the police were like, well, there's no actual breach of
They
the
were putting
law
up
here.
post-it notes that said like
Yeah, like-
"Sand cat" and
Yeah,
shit like
and it
that.
was like what was it, like 9K wasted or something,
Yeah.
and people were putting
Yeah,
up like
that's another
help.
thing. Those students are paying full price,
chucking 9 bags clean
For
out the window to be
full-
locked in a
Yeah.
fucking sweaty
and
student hall.
including online lectures.
Yeah, fuck that.
Going to uni was one of the biggest wastes of money I've personally done. Like,
Worth it though.
well, the crack's good, like, but when it comes to your
Like-
degree and the value of your degree, not worth it.
Yeah, but realistically, nobody goes to university for a degree. People go to
Well-
university to have an absolute free one for 3 years.
Can you not do that without the $9,000 a year cost?
Nah, like university's just a free one.
I don't know.
Surely.
You had a university sort of lifestyle and you didn't go to uni.
I was working full time, but I still had a free one. Like, but university seems like an absolute free one.
Suppose, like,
But yeah, it's all
Fugazi.
it's all fugazi. Like,
Right, we'll go into these questions or what?
yeah, well,
Like, what's our time sitting out there?
User on 15 minutes.
fuck, we're going all right here.
Is
like.
that it?
That's fucking it. Yeah.
Right, I suppose we may talk a little bit more shite for another 15 minutes here, or I whip out the questions here.
Yeah, we'll do a wee Q&A.
Right, so Mark stuck up a little poll on Instagram basically saying, ask me anything we want to discuss in the podcast. So I've got a good whack of screenshots to get through here. We're just going to go in raw here and...
Yeah, you pick whatever ones you want.
Right.
I don't know what he's going to ask. I don't know which ones he's picked.
Well,
Leave it up to
I've
him.
got a few screaming at me straight away here. Like,
Hit me.
Right. This one's a bit of a.
Are you struggling?
This
to
one,
pick
no,
or
I'm not
what?
struggling to pick here, but I'm just struggling to think if it's actually appropriate.
What?
Which DJ do you think is the biggest cunt? I know my answer, and he's sitting right beside me. But
you've been seeing that one?
yeah, I've been seeing that one's been sitting right at the top of the pile from when I look through them. I know without
I don't know if I can answer that.
you can't really, yeah, because it's sort of throwing you under the bus. Like,
I don't think I can answer that.
so is that a pass on that one, or are you gonna give us like? Could you maybe mention
a
it without
dick?
actually? I actually could probably name.
Go, you
fuck-
name me your.
No,
name me
I'm not chucking out names there and calling them dicks.
DJs that are dicks.
Well, I'll tell you one DJ who's almost certainly not a dick, and it's DJ Board. He's a fucking legend.
Yeah, nice guy.
But
Yeah, the question should have been who's the nicest DJ.
yeah, who's a
that you
nice
know?
DJ. And going back to that
DJ
point,
Bourne.
DJ Bourne is the nicest DJ.
DJ Bourne's lovely.
Yeah,
High's
10 out of
absolutely
10
lovely.
guy. Tristan, what a man.
But yeah, what about the dicks? Let's talk about those. Let's talk about dicks.
Talk about dicks. Is there any dick questions in here?
No, he's in which DJ's a dick? Obviously.
Sorry, I'm bearing up the left here. Dicks, like, are we name dropping here, or like?
Yeah, fucking go for it.
Come on, Mark, that's just not good for the brand, mate.
Don't suck me. This is your own.
I'm not
your
calling
own.
people dicks,
Yeah, but pick
Jackmaster.
right. Oh, we're spelling the T now.
All right,
folks.
okay, so
No, that's fair. Like he's been through.
he's been
it,
through
like.
the ringer. Do you fair to him?
I would agree. If it came, I would agree with that. He's proved himself to be a bit of a dick.
Yeah,
As,
but like,
I'm pretty sure he. I'm
nothing
pretty sure
personal,
he.
or
Of course not. I don't know him personally. Like,
yeah,
but from what's happened and from the experience and shit, he's obviously a bit of a dick.
yeah, it's true. Some shiting in kettles and all
There's
that.
a lot
there.
of DJs in the sort of upper.
Yeah,
pardon me.
what like?
In the upper, like the top. See the more well known.
Yeah,
the more
are we
famous,
like talking like
and the
like,
more money you make, like the bigger you dick you usually are.
like sort of like off the shelf sort of DJ names, like
What?
like the Calvin Harris and all that there, or like what are you talking about here?
I'm just saying, like as a DJ goes on their career and they get more money, more power,
Yeah,
more
you just
clout.
get sellouts basically.
Not well, like you can sell out and not be a dick, but I'm just saying as that goes up, the chances are you become more of a dick.
True. To be fair, you're not even there yet, and you're a pretty big dick. Like,
Well, I've heard that before. To be fair, like, right, next question.
right? Okay.
That was too much for me.
Too much.
Flip me all that drama. I'm gonna be flipping some stupid YouTube drama video next.
Right.
next week.
Okay. So we've got Ben Clinton _ here. Pretty.
Who asked that? Who's the biggest dick?
Who's
question?
the biggest dick question? Let's have a quick look. It was.
Yeah, let's put them in blast.
Yeah. Well, we wouldn't mind hearing your 4 cents in this one here. That was Declan Floyd.
Declan Floyd, fuck you, mate.
Yeah, fuck you, mate.
You're probably
If you're a
probably
DJ,
dick.
mate, if you're a DJ, you're the biggest cunt, mate. No harm to you. Yeah, so going straight in raw with this one. Ben Clinton _ straight to the point. WAP remix.
WAP remix. No.
Not
Well,
happening.
I actually I uploaded a mashup of Mosca and Bax,
Right.
like an old UK garage track the other week there. Just made it in about 30 minutes, stuck it on YouTube. And that was it. People are commenting on it, being like, this is fucking shite, you've completely ruined this song and all. I was like, fuck. Fair
Brilliant.
play. YouTube comments are always hilarious, like
Yeah.
always funny.
This isn't really a question, but it's something quite close to home.
What?
It's Gilmore _ saying host a rap battle.
Oh,
That's something that hits quite close to home. Like,
oh my,
um,
that's a fucking great idea.
we're gonna go. So to be honest, like when we get drunk, like more often than not, into the sort of the early hours of the morning, it generally tends to turn into a rap battle. Not really that great, like, but
Doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
It's a heart.
It's all about the flows.
Have you ever seen 8 Mile?
Yeah, mate.
It's about the heart, mate.
Yeah, it comes from the soul.
But here, that's a fucking class idea.
Yeah. I would.
I'm saying right
now,
now,
I'll get involved.
I'm manifesting this. We're at some point in the next few months, we will have a rap battle on this show.
Right.
Not us, maybe not. Well, us too.
I'll give it a swing.
We
like,
could do us, but
my beats are pretty weak.
there,
Like, but
there will be some sort of rap battle coming up. 100%. That's a great idea.
yeah, that's an
Thank you,
absolute-
Gilmore, mate.
Yeah, Gilmore, well done, mate.
Fair play to you.
Serotonin underscore. Few underscores going about tonight. Filthiest tune in your opinion?
Oh, filthiest tune.
Yeah,
What's that supposed to mean? Like
it's just like nasty.
like,
Like
the
if
one
you hear a
put the
tune, you just go,
up to,
"Oh,
like,
nice."
ooh.
Suppose you don't really like see it that sort of way, do you? Like you don't just go, "Oh, that's a nasty tune."
of
You're
course
so,
you
you
do.
can appreciate it from like the like.
Yeah, but if a big beat comes on, I was like, oh,
Oh,
nice, nice
oh,
beat,
nice,
brother.
nice man.
Fuck, I don't know. Honestly, couldn't tell you off the
Oh,
top of my
come on.
head.
Surely you've got a few up there. Like
Mm,
what are you cert? Well, like we'll change the question. What are you cert to drop every set?
fuck, I don't know. Haven't played set in 9 months.
Yeah, true. Rusty.
Probably some sort of techno / trance tune from
It's pretty
K Tracid or something. He's like a trance techno producer. He's very good.
right.
Something like that. Yeah. Some sort of 140 BPM type trance techno track.
Okay, so
Excuse me.
Ryan Hall _16, another underscore in there. What was the best place you've ever played a gig?
Oh, tough one. Like,
And was I there?
might have been like,
Where?
it's definitely Ireland.
Yeah, Ireland's rowdy. Like
I played in a lot of places over the past few years, like, and nothing compares to Ireland.
where's that place you went to, and then you had an absolute mad swinger straight after?
Oh,
Sligo was
so
it?
that's different between
Like best gig and best like
after
all
parties.
together.
Best after party and best gig, two separate things. Like, best gig,
I'm trying to think of where the best gig I've been to you with.
it would probably be Sligo.
Strabane.
Strabanistan. Nah,
Yeah,
Strabane was pretty fucking wick.
It was good.
It was good, like, but Strabane, like, no harm to them.
Unreal. What a trip.
Uh,
Yeah, it's definitely Sligo, Galway.
wasn't there.
Those are the top two.
Belfast is always up there.
Belfast is definitely up there. Like, actually, tough because I used to play in Belfast every few weeks,
yeah,
so like it kind of like got a bit like,
bit bucked out.
yeah, well, a bit sort of repetitive. But like, I think now that I'm playing less, if I came back and played
Yeah.
Belfast, I think
Like
that
your
would top
first setback after COVID
in Belfast.
in Belfast
I think
would
it'll
be
be good.
mayhem.
I was supposed to play the Shine show, and it
That
was,
Big Miz one.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a fucking shame. Like,
Yeah, so it was supposed to be on Easter Monday, which is in April. It got cancelled because of coronavirus, and then it got rescheduled for
Culture Night,
Culture Night.
which did it happen?
No.
Is it
Obviously
this
not.
weekend?
No, September.
Was it?
22nd of September or something.
Right.
Anyway, so that got cancelled again. And then there was another date rescheduled for December. And now it's cancelled. So that's 3 Shine Belfast shows cancelled. We basically just said there's no point making another date. Let's just wait for all this to end
Yeah.
and then set the date.
And that.
So, folks, see whenever you see that show go up,
get on it,
get ready.
because I'll be there, bells and whistles.
Yeah. We're trying to do it because, like, whenever all this ends, there's going to be a short space of time where they say, okay, clubs can open.
And it's just gonna be mayhem.
And then there's going to be, like, a 2-week period where, like, people are going to be trying to organise stuff and organise DJs and organise gigs as quick as possible.
yeah.
But because I'm already in Belfast, we're trying to work with Shine to get stuff in as quick as possible after that date where they say, okay, shows are allowed. So once that's announced, the shows are okay to go ahead. Within like 2 or 3 weeks, there'll be a massive fucking show, and hopefully Big Miz will be there to join me.
Let's have
Here,
a look.
sorry, McPhee, could you bring me my drink round?
Yeah, I was about to say, McPhee, can I get a wee top up of the old Vino Tinto?
No sweat, guys. Fucking drinks man now or something.
I'll barman McPhee.
Behind the scenes, pulling the strings, like. So, next question. Keep going back to this. Or have a rap battle. All for that.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that.
Oh,
Cheers, McPhee.
this is a bit of a random one. Like,
Don't be asking more controversial.
I'm
shit.
not. It's not really. It's not controversial, but Matthew Audley with 2 Y's asks,
What do you want?
red wine. It's finished, mate.
That's what you McPhee to do.
Oh well, I'll get myself sorted.
Well,
Right, well, I'll be right back. Just gonna nip the off license here.
Fuck's sake.
No, it was only 3/4, mate.
Alright, go hit me. Let's
Matthew
go.
Audley with 2 Y's says, who's going to win the 2020 election?
Which one? The American?
Yeah. Well, what other election do you know that's
Joe-
going on in 2020?
Don't know, like
Joe Biden?
Joe Biden.
Are you backing Joe Biden?
I 100%.
Do you think so?
I'm not just backing him as I'm thinking about it, I'm endorsing him.
Right.
Trump's a fucking
Trump's a fucking
loser,
lunatic,
head
like.
case.
Yeah.
I don't think Joe Biden's one of the best
No.
candidates, but
I don't
if it's
think so,
between,
like-
between him and Trump,
Best of a bad bunch. Like,
of course Trump's a fucking
yeah,
racist.
absolute lunatic.
Joe Biden's a bit slow, but
Joe
apart-
Biden?
Joe Biden. Joe Biden's a bit slow, but apart from that, he means well. Like,
Yeah, but do you
But
really
where's-
think he's going to have enough to overthrow fucking Trump's
Yeah.
big empire?
well, like I was reading this morning that he's already way ahead in the polls and shit. Like,
Joe Biden is?
yeah.
To be
And
honest, I don't know enough
Oh,
about it.
here, Trump got coronavirus this morning.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking hilarious.
Can you believe it? Who would have thought?
Fucking unlucky,
Who
mate.
would have thought?
Tell you what, see all that the shit he's been saying about coronavirus
It was
not being
common,
a
like,
big thing.
It was common.
Fucking serves you
All
right,
joking
mate.
aside, though, like I saw a lot of people on the left that were like celebrating and like generally like really happy. Like as
Yeah.
much as I disagree with people's politics and shit like
you
that,
can't wish bad health on someone.
you
like,
can't like wishing death upon someone.
yeah. And I've
Trump's a fucking
seen people saying,
Trump is a complete racist wanker, but to give him the death penalty is a bit
and as
always
well,
a bit
like
much. So,
whatever happens, like say, I don't really know what the protocol is if he does die from COVID, but what that would do.
he's
to the-
74
the-
years old, like so it's not that.
Well, the
it's not-
the percentage is like something like 1 in 40 people die. Like,
That's-
under 75.
that's a lot.
Yeah, I know it's a lot, but like
That's not good.
But,
All it's like for your whole life to be taken
that
away.
that aside, the damage, the further damage that would do to the US economy would be
Yeah,
mental.
Once that was announced, the stocks
fell.
dropped. Like
so. Like, should he die? I don't know what the protocol is, and to be honest, I don't really care.
vice president takes over, obviously.
And then who's the VP?
Who's the VP?
Exactly.
Don't know. Someone is
So
though.
then completely.
Somebody is though.
Yeah. Give it Joe Biden, mate.
Yeah.
He'll take it on.
Well, like, yeah, I'd rather him in office than flipping that racist.
So
Yeah.
he's talking about
Orange
who's
cunt.
the vice president of
Yeah, the United States.
Yeah,
Yeah.
McPhee hit us, mate. Fact checker.
It's a guy who I've never fucking heard of before,
Serious.
called Mike Pence.
Oh,
Mike
yeah, Mike
Pence?
Pence. Yeah.
Pence and Trump.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that who it is?
Yeah.
Well, that's who it
Second
is.
hand man, like.
Second in command.
But to be honest, I couldn't even hazard a guess that's what his job role was. But anyway,
The gap between the left and the right the past 4 years because of Trump winning the election,
it's just completely broadened.
because of Boris winning the election, like the gap between left and right is completely mental. The left and right want to kill each other.
Yeah.
It's honestly crazy.
Well, that's why they're rioting on the street.
Yeah,
But,
the
like,
whole
not
BL
necessarily directly involved.
Yeah,
but it's
the-
obviously
there's
it's
the
like
Proud
it's like a
Boys
prod. It's like a
and the
pro- it's like
militia and all that shit, and then
Antifa and all them
Like-
mad fuckers.
see it just benefits politicians, that whole divide. Politicians,
Because it's just another string to their bow.
yeah, politicians. See if all these groups and all these people realize that the government
Or the fucking ones in the middle.
yeah was the real fucking problem. Like you'd be able to do something about it. But
should
the
be-
government's tricked these people into hating each other.
We're starting
Making
to
a
sound
competition.
like conspiracy
Yeah,
theorists
fuck,
here.
right, let's
like,
move
so-
on. Right, next
well,
question.
Yeah,
Next
so
question.
Matthew, cheers for that one. But
Cheers, Matthew, mate.
do you want
What was that question? How did we get to that?
who's going to win the 2020
Oh, right, that
election?
makes perfect sense.
Fiona Green with 2 E's. Least favorite thing a crowd can start doing or individuals start to
Oh,
do
easy.
during a set.
Easy. Do you know what I'm gonna say?
No, I've got something in my head, but I'm not going to
What
say
do you
it.
gonna say, McPhee?
I think you're gonna say about people holding up a video.
All right. No.
No, I'm not even
No.
gonna say it.
Wait, what's going on? What's the question? What's the worst thing the
Worst-
crowd can do
worst
during a
crowd
set?
thing or an individual could do during a set.
Does she say individual or say crowd?
Both. She said crowd or individual.
Well, for a start, the easy one for the crowd is when they start chanting, "Whoop nah, whoop nah." What even is it? Whoop that ass,
Whoop that ass,
or
apparently,
whoop
like,
there
well,
it is.
I'm assuming like whoop there it is. It just doesn't make sense.
Whoop
it's
there
it's
it
whoop
is.
that ass, mate.
Whoop that ass.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the worst.
that's fucking tragic.
There's times I'll be DJing. Pardon me. There's times I'll be
Your
DJing
excuse,
down
mate.
south, and it'll be in like a shitty wee bar. Like, they've kind of converted it into a nightclub. The sound system isn't the best on it. The monitors in the DJ booth aren't the best, if there
Yeah.
even is monitors. And like, you'll play a song and people start chanting that, and all
It's so fucking
all it
tragic.
takes is about 15 people on the dance floor to start chanting that, right? And I generally can't even hear the song I'm playing because the sound system's so shite. All I'll hear is whoop that ass, whoop, and I'm just sitting on the decks looking at them, being like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Do you know what I'm going to talk about? I don't
What?
know if you remember. Well, you obviously will remember. To be fair, Yurt City.
Oh yeah, that was good.
That was such
That was
great
good.
catch. So-
I appreciate
so
it. That was funny.
I was standing in the crowd. I drove up, so I was sort of like relatively sober at this point.
Your city's a festival
Yeah,
down
it's
south
a
in
festival down
Ireland.
south,
Friends
and it's
doesn't know.
fucking. It was unreal.
Yeah, shout out Jonnie Foley.
Yeah, shout out to all the boys there.
Yeah.
Mark was playing a set. I was relatively sober because I drove down, and Mark took me on a 45-minute long detour, which I was fucking reason about. And so Mark was playing a set, and I was standing beside McPhee, and McPhee was completely hammered. And he came up to me maybe 3 or 4 times during the set, and goes, "Yo, Dougan, look, it's Mark. Mark's playing." I was like, "I know." And then about 5 minutes later, McPhee came up to me and goes, "Yo, when's Mark on?" I was like, "Oh no, McPhee." And but the boys beside us, I think it was boys wearing like a Lakers jersey, and then all of a sudden,
Hold, you finish your story
Wasn't it-
first. Go ahead.
he was wearing a Lakers jersey, and I was chatting to him, and then next thing you know, the whole crowd was going, "Big fat bag of white, say big fat bag of white." I was like, "What is this a thing?" I've been down south, like Mark's been DJing loads of times. I've never heard it before, and I was like, I would love to know if this
worked
is
well.
them like chanting at Mark, or is this something like specific to Mark, or is this something specific to like what people down south do? But to me, it was absolutely hilarious.
I don't know if I'm pretty sure I told you, but like half a year later, I was DJing down south somewhere, and I met the guy that started it.
Was it the guy I was talking to? Like, you obviously weren't there because you were.
Don't know, but a guy came up to me when I was playing and was like, "Yo, do you remember everyone started chanting 'Big Fat Bag of White' during your City set?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, that was hilarious, mate. Were you there?" And he was like, "I was the one who started that."
Is that a thing?
Don't know. I think it was Sligo or somewhere. But fair play. If you're watching this,
whoever
mate,
that, if you started
fair
that,
play. It's
fair
funny.
play to you. That was pretty funny.
Mm.
Maybe get one more question. We'll have a quick break.
McPhee, what run time out there?
Yous are at about 30, 35, about 30, 38 minutes. Like,
All right,
Time flies when you're
more-
having fun.
More
Like,
10 minutes, and then we'll call
time
it a
flies
day.
when you're talking shite.
time flies when you're talking shit. Is
Let's
right.
do two or three more questions, then we'll call it a day.
To be fair, the old question
our first
bank's
episode.
running pretty fucking dry
What do you mean
here.
there was
Like,
hundreds in
because
there?
they're all talking absolute shite, mate.
There was hundreds.
All right, so Journey, you like beans, bro?
What was that?
Ernie, UR.NIE, you like beans, bro?
Right,
Sorry,
Ernie,
not you like beans, bro. Ya like beans, bro.
Let me get this is an important one to me.
Or sorry, hang on a second. We'll go over to the next one, and we can maybe do like a double header on this one because they're quite similar. Collie_MCC says, "Do you like Andy Malone's meals? Whatever that means. It might mean something to you, but
Never
to me
heard.
personally,
Who's Annie Malone?
yeah, exactly. So
There's no
th-
other questions
This is
in
what
there?
we're working with, mate. This is the caliber of
Nothing
questions
about
that we're working
like
with.
no
will you
genuine questions.
favorite chocolate?
No,
Abby, come
no,
on,
sure
be
not.
original here. Anita Golob, why are you so hot? 3 question marks.
Oh, I need
Now
to
we're getting to the
slide into the
reason.
DMs, love.
Yeah, to be honest, mate, the river's running pretty
Like,
fucking...
I'll just go through them all then. Just round them off, and I'll pick one that's decent.
Fuck, it's so dyslexic, mate. DJ Star, think you can hard bass harder than
No,
DJs
next.
are. Yeah. Oh fuck. How did you and Jonnie meet? I can probably answer this one.
Right.
Like,
okay,
or do you want to go ahead or?
To be honest, I don't fucking know. So
Yeah,
you can
well-
answer it then.
So, me and Mark both
Oh,
went,
I know what's coming up here.
Um,
I know where he's going with this one.
me and
McPhee.
Mark we both went to BLAIR High School. He was a year above me, and like, he didn't have a lot of friends back then. Yeah, and to be honest, I just felt really fucking sorry for him. So
We weren't friends in school.
yeah, because you had no fucking friends, and I upper sixth.
We didn't
you
make
were in
friends
upper
until
sixth.
after school.
No, Mark, stop trying to change the subject, mate. Yeah, so basically, Mark was in the year above us. He didn't have a lot of friends, so I thought, like, I'll do him a solid here. I'll make friends with him, and unfortunately, still mates with him to this day.
How long ago was that? 10? No, 8 years ago.
Something like that. Years are a blur to me.
Will I fact check it here?
Yeah, I'm saying
Oh, whenever you were 18?
18.
Nah, it was like 7 years ago, mate.
7 years ago?
Yeah.
Fuck, that long.
What a 7 years been, brother.
To be fair though, how did we make friends?
We just
Sort
our
of
two groups.
natural progression, sort of merged into
Yeah,
one.
we had our friend group in the year above them.
And they seen
You had your-
they obviously seen our friend group and thought, fuck,
Yeah.
they look like they're having good crack, and they
Well,
thought maybe we'll get
wouldn't
involved.
say
In
that, like,
and
but-
probably, see, to be honest, it was probably stemmed from me throwing massive house parties and then
Oh, yeah,
you
that
crashing
helped.
them. So
That's how we met.
it was it me having a massive
Oh,
swinger in my
yeah,
gaff.
go, I've got it now, right? So, this guy was having a house party in his house. I think it was your cousin's engagement or something. Or no, your sister's engagement, was it? Yours?
What?
And they were having a big house party.
Oh,
And wait, let me finish.
Yeah.
They paid me to come to their house. I didn't really speak to you.
yeah.
They paid me as an employee to come to their house to serve drinks at their party.
And it was a pretty good gig because I'm pretty sure you got
cunt.
fuck away off.
You
That was
poor-
such a fucking night though.
Yeah,
Well,
I got completely wrecked that night.
Yeah, so we had like a little back room. We had like shitloads of drink. I just thought Mark was always like a bit of a hustler and then fucking looking to make a couple of quid wherever. So I thought, fuck, Mark, you're looking to make a couple of quid. Come to barman. He's like, yeah, no sweat. So drinks are flowing. I was like, Mark, you work away at that drink there. And then yeah, one thing led to another, and then now look at us.
There we go,
We're
best
like
friends.
Starsky and Hush,
Starsky and Hush.
except Hush Grocer's Hush.
Right, go. Any more questions or what? Any more like music industry questions?
Do you want me to throw you out one sort of more technical one?
Yes, anything technical or music related.
Right,
instead of
so
all
this
fucking
one's
bullshit
quite
about
technical.
Fucking President Trump or whatever.
Okay, so this one here is from Michael Lang Music. This is a serious one.
Oh, that's good.
He says, "What's your favorite VST / synth for basses?"
Now we're talking.
Now we're getting to the reason.
Now we're talking. Favorite VST for basses. For anyone who doesn't know, a VST is like a virtual instrument. I make music on my computer. I don't actually play each individual
Do
instrument.
you want to give the crowd an insight as to what VST stands for?
Fuck.
No.
I couldn't
Virtual
tell you.
synth.
Something like
Tractor.
that. Like, honestly, couldn't tell you. It's a virtual instrument.
Right, okay.
But yeah, my favorite VST for basses would probably be the Roland SH01.
VST stands for Virtual Studio Technology.
I was
Oh.
close. I was close.
Thank you, McPhee.
Got one
Yous are
out of three
welcome.
there, like-
Yous are welcome.
Virtual what?
Studio.
Virtual Studio Technologies.
That's the one.
Right.
I
Aye.
was so close there, like.
So for any producers out there, there's a thing called Rolling Cloud, and you pay $20 a month, and you get access to a massive like about 10 different virtual instruments of all their like old stuff they used to make in hardware. And there's one called the SH01, and it's got fucking unreal presets on it. If you're not much into sound design and shit, download this. They've got so many ready to use out the box. Basses, leads, synths, chords, everything. I would definitely recommend download it. But yeah, that's my favorite one for basses. Like
Right. Do you want something more? Let's see him again, like something.
for
something-
anyone that listens to my songs, the basses and the tracks are probably the most sort of notable thing. Like, so yeah, definitely download that. There's also the Juno stuff in there as well that you can use. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So this probably is quite relevant.
Mm.
Paul Flanagan.
Right, this is the last question.
This
by
is
the
the
way.
last question,
We'll
right? Okay.
leave all this.
So this isn't really technical, but it's probably something. To be honest, I probably know the answer already.
What?
It's from Paul Flanagan, 1598. He says, "What's the biggest challenge in your DJ career thus far?"
What the fuck do you think?
Yeah,
Obviously.
COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, like,
but like before that, maybe
see,
take COVID out of the
the
equation.
biggest challenge in your DJ career, whenever you first start DJing, it's so fucking hard to get a gig anywhere because everybody wants to be a DJ.
Yeah,
Every
especially in Belfast, like
anywhere, everybody wants to be a DJ.
because there's so many people who are like DJing and like house parties.
Yeah, of
living rooms,
course. That's
and they
what I'm
feel
saying.
like I want a piece of that.
Well, like even people that aren't even DJing, that's how it works. Like you start at the very bottom. Even to be allowed to DJ at a house party is like a privilege
Yeah.
at that point. And then once you go to house parties, you go to bars for like 100 people. And then you maybe like scale up at the small nightclubs for 250, 300 people. And then you keep going up and up and up. But like to get past that first sort of barrier to entry is hard. The amount of gigs that I played at the start of my career for free, not even for free, like I was paying money to like drive there and to like stay in hotels and shit just to play at parties. It's crazy.
But like on that note, like
Once you break past that barrier, it's great.
yeah,
But like getting past that first barrier, I see a lot of DJs now that complain about not getting paid for gigs and shit, and like they don't have any sort of like pull or any sort of fan base, or so like it's hard. It's hard. Like it's a privilege to be able to DJ for
Yeah.
money.
but like on that basis, would you have any recommendations for people who are starting off? What
Oof.
like what would you say to someone saying who's just starting off their potential career as a DJ?
Mm.
What would you say to do when they're first starting off? Or saying,
How to
yeah,
how to-
what way would you
how to
what would you
grow?
say to them? How would you, like if they want to go into a nightclub and start off? What way would you give them any
like,
recommendations?
It's for the first 10% of your career, it's all about networking. You need to make friends with the people that are throwing the parties. You need to make friends with people that run the record shops. You need to make friends with everyone in the industry.
And I feel like that's something probably you were quite good at from
Yeah.
the offset.
I mean, well, I started off throwing raves, so like obviously I was in the whole sort of midst of it. But yeah, you need to network.
What would you say would be the biggest tool that you could use? Social media platforms,
No,
or just speaking to people?
face to face. See if you wanna make it in DJing, you need to go to parties. If some collective is throwing a party and no one's going and none of your friends are going,
Put yourself out there.
you need to go by yourself, order a drink at the bar, and go find someone that's run the party and start chatting to them.
Yeah.
And you need to speak to them and make friends, and then hopefully in return for that, you can go back home the next day, send them a mix saying, "Hi, I actually DJ a bit, have a listen to this."
Yep.
And then they might book you for the next party. It's all about networking.
Yep.
As annoying that is, like,
And that's
the
fair,
facts
that's
of
what
it.
you've been good at. Like as long as
See-
I've known you, that's been something you've always put yourself out there. You've
Yeah.
never really shied away from saying, right, fuck, it's a Tuesday night, I'm gonna go out. This is on, I'm gonna go out.
Honestly,
And whether or not you're involved or whether or not you're just going to say hello to someone or something, you always put yourself
Yeah.
out there.
like,
And that's
honestly,
what you've been good at.
you can be one of the most talented, unreal DJs in the world.
But if you're
and
not putting yourself
you
out
will
there,
you will not make it past your bedroom unless you do the stuff like networking and marketing and stuff you have to do.
and I would
Which
say
is sad. That's not the way it should be. That is not the
Yeah.
way it should be. It should be the talented people make it to the top and the untalented people stay at the bottom. But that is not how this industry works.
and as well,
we'll
in,
go
like,
into a lot more depth into stuff like that in the coming few episodes and shit.
Yeah.
Like, but
can we take a little quick break because I'm
no,
actually
that's
about
done. Call it
to
a day.
piss myself.
We'll call it a day there. Thank you everyone that joined us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Hopefully,
it's been
we
an absolute
didn't-
pleasure.
Hopefully we didn't melt your heads too much for their rambling.
Yeah,
Especially with the politics stuff. Like, we're hardly the most sort of qualified people to be making
Nah.
opinions about politics and shit like that. But yeah, that's us.
Yeah,
First week
lovely.
done.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you next Thursday.
I'm absolutely busting to go to the toilet here.
Right,
so
you fire away.
Thank fuck.
I'll finish up.
You gonna see me off here?
Yeah, you fuck off.
Right,
Fuck
so
off to the
it's,
toilet.
Yeah, sure. See you next Thursday.
They can't hear you, but yeah. Yeah, thank you everyone that joined us. Back again next Thursday. That was kind of just a sort of pilot episode to kind of get into it and kind of see how it goes and shit like that. Hopefully in the next few weeks and next few months we'll have a few more interactive stuff, a few more like different videos and production breakdowns and shit like that. But yeah, thanks for joining us and see you next week. Peace.
When he raised the bush.